Welcome to the Intuitive Hour with psychic medium, author, and intuitive life coach, Michelle Beltran. The Intuitive Hour will empower you to learn how to magnify your intuitive voice. Listen in and expand your understanding of what it means to be psychic and how to awaken, amplify, and trust your inner voice.
Greetings to you, friends. Welcome. This is the Intuitive Hour, Awaken Your Inner Voice. I'm your host, Michelle Beltran, and thank you all for being here with me today. All right, our subject for this episode, the psychic ability of being an empath. 12 traits you want to know about. Let's first begin today with understanding what being an empath, or what the empathic ability actually is and means. So, being an empath is all about feeling the emotions of others. This psychic gift presents in many different ways. For example, you might just know things without being told. You might feel overwhelmed in a busy or loud place. These are characteristics of being an empath. As an empath myself, I often find it a little challenging to be in busy and loud or noisy places like an airport or a mall. If you're an empath, you are feeling the emotions of others. You may even take on the emotions of others as if they were your own. Do you find that you're feeling the emotions of those near you? An empath will know or feel thoughts about themselves or another from near or even afar. All right, let's talk about those 12 specific traits to discern if you are a psychic empath. You'll notice that you'll need to turn off the television when there's violence or tragedy. It just becomes too unbearable for you. I find that I have to stop watching and paying attention to the media and news altogether because of this. You might as well. As an empath, tune in to whether or not you feel the illness or aching pains or symptoms, physical symptoms of others when you're near them. This can also actually happen with animals or your pets. Very often, if you're an empath, you might find yourself rooting for the losing or team or the underdog in a situation. You might even feel inspired to support those who you see as being intimidated, bullied, or who are suffering. Do you find that family and friends come to you to divulge their life issues or matters or problems? You might also notice that if you're an empath, you're highly creative, musical, artistically inclined. Perhaps you have extremely rich imaginations. You might even feel that you're a very prevalent and fantastic daydreamer. Most often, someone who is very in tune psychically or has this empathic ability will be able to tell truth from dishonesty. They can tell mistruths or when they're getting partial truth. And as an empath, you might just loathe any sense of dishonesty and have no toleration for it, feeling a deep sense and desire for truth. Another trait for an empath: they're natural healers. They have an affinity to work with their hands and heal others in whatever capacity. Masseuse, Reiki, distant healing. If you have an affinity toward healing others, or you're drawn to holistic, metaphysical, or naturopathic solutions and remedies, you're likely an empath. Further, an empath will desire solitude and peace and equanimity and calm, quiet time in their day. They must have it. They need to find a space where they can be and breathe and reflect. Come to the present moment. This is often sought in meditation, just quiet time in their sacred space, or it can even come through a deep connection with love of animals and children. As an empath, we're problem solvers. We seek out answers. We pull back the layers and discern deep down what the problem or matter is at hand. Anything unresolved or unexplained, questions that are frustrating, the empath searches for resolve and completion in these things. Interestingly, as an empath, you might notice that you are very impatient and even intolerant with clutter or mess or chaos. Often, empaths are very free-spirited souls, and they thrive on adventure and new experience. They are a sponge when it comes to freedom, travel, and learning. Is this you? Also, rules and regimen, they just don't work for empaths. They are stifling. They limit us. As an empath, freedom is essential. Control of any kind is met with resistance. Do you feel stifled by strict guidelines, procedures? Do you cringe when you are having to jump through someone else's hoops or rules? All of these very powerful traits and signs and symbols that you are an empath. All right, so aside from all of these techniques, now that we have really taken a look at what empath means and the traits related, how do you navigate as a psychic empath? Let's talk about that. First and foremost, learn to develop your psychic third eye. The chakra, right in the center of your forehead, deep down. Your third eye chakra. This is the base, the root of your psychic development. Purple and dark blue colored fruits assist you in expanding and opening your third eye. Yes, indeed, believe it or not, what you eat matters. So, things like blackberries, blueberries, or red grapes will help this third eye chakra expand. Also, consider flavoring your foods with hemp seeds and lavender, and try burning vanilla or lavender incense to support this as well. All right, in addition to developing your psychic third eye chakra, you'll want to create a protection rose. This is a psychic tool I teach here on the Intuitive Hour, there is actually an episode about how to create a protection rose, this type of protection tool as you move forward in psychic development and learning. In your psychic development, you must learn that your pure positive essence is the only energy allowed in your space. A protection rose is an energy tool that assists you during your daily life, meditation, or any kind of spiritual work to keep healthy energy boundaries in place. A protection rose acts like a filter or a receptacle that absorbs energies near or around you that are not your own and don't belong in your space. All right, so be sure to check out the episode here again at the Intuitive Hour called The Necessity of Psychic Protection and How to Create a Protection Rose to learn more about this. Moving on. For those of us who are empaths navigating daily life, you want to be in the center of your head. Our lives are full of poignant experiences. If you're an energy worker, an empath, an intuitive or healer of any kind, you are coming across equally highly charged experiences, even if you are not consciously aware of it. It's very natural to slip into the motions and chaos of events and others around us, or into the energy of the client we're working with, even family members we can tune into and absorb emotions of. So this is especially true if you're an empath. More often than not, at these times, your attention is focused outside of you, and you are completely entrenched with whatever situation is pressing at the moment. When you learn how to consciously be in the center of your head, you begin to call your life force back to you, finding and establishing peace of mind, clarity, and balance. There is a spiritual space right in the center of our heads from which we're able to filter out much of this noise and chaos of the world. I want to give you the 4 steps now to do that, to being in the center of your head and quieting this chaos. It's very simple. 4 steps. Number 1, you easily get into the center of your head by taking your awareness to this space, to this area of your head, right in the center, and acknowledging it. Then imagine a miniature version of yourself right in the center, right there at the apex of the 2 cross lines traveling through the center of your head. Next, this center of your head is your sacred space, your energetic sacred space. So decorate it, design it, flavor it in any way you choose. It's your comfort space. Number 4, the center of your head is for you and you only. Nobody else is allowed, no people, no animals, no issues. They must leave and are not allowed there. All right, psychics and empaths must strengthen that root chakra in addition to that third eye chakra. That first chakra or root chakra, we also want to make sure is strong and alive and well. The root chakra helps us as psychics and intuitives and empaths to stay grounded and in the present. When the root chakra is in imbalance, we are in chaos. We are ungrounded. We are 5 feet off the ground in essence. We want to be grounded. When that root chakra is balanced, we are in harmony and we are fully grounded in all matters of life around us. So, to support maintaining this equanimity, smudge your home. Ground and run energy daily, and try taking a bath in sage. Also, eat root vegetables. This would be something like garlic, onions, and carrots. They will absolutely enhance your grounding. Most importantly, for grounding, exercise, dance, cycle, do yoga. All right, tuning into your throat chakra to access your psychic awareness. So your throat chakra is the center of communication. We want to be mindful as intuitives and empaths to speak our truth, to set boundaries, and not be afraid to say no. You can say no with love and care and grace. I want to encourage you to try singing, chanting, and most importantly, sharing your feelings and communicating openly. Feed this chakra with water and tree-growing fruits like apricots and peaches. All right, so what's next in your psychic development? As a psychic empath, it's paramount to learn to manage the input of emotions and the physical reactions that accompany them. The empath must put these emotional connections into a space where they can acknowledge them and their physical manifestations as just information to be communicated and nothing more. This takes practice. But people so endowed are mandated to submit to their gifts and deliver the messages they receive. I highly encourage that you next take a listen to my powerful meditation on developing and opening your third eye here at the Intuitive Hour. As your next step for finding equanimity and balance in your life, opening your intuitive self even more, and to find grounding and peace and ease as the empath that you are. All right, everyone, thank you again for being with me. We will bring this wonderful episode to a close. I look forward to seeing you all here next week.
Thanks for listening to the Intuitive Hour with Michelle Beltran. If you like what you heard, please share our podcast with a friend, and be sure to visit michellebeltran.com to get Michelle's popular Develop Your Clairvoyance ebook.